On Monday, I talked about Isaiah Johnson-Mack and Tavares Martin Jr., two Washington State wide receivers that left the college. And I was heavily critical of them. I said that they made a mistake by giving up a free education, and I didn't like that. You had a strong opinion. You disagreed. I said, that's great. Come on the show. Let's have a conversation about it. That's why you're here. What did I say that bothered you? And I do agree with you somewhat, and that's why I want to have a dialogue about it, because I think I made some mistakes on Monday, and I want to say, first I want to open up about them, and I want to have a conversation about that. So what did I say that bothered you?
Yeah, so I would say I don't disagree about the choice of them walking away from free education. I think in our world we live in, and education is super important. I think the way I disagreed with you was you listed ideas of maybe why you wouldn't want to stay here. Number one being like the classes you are in. You used history as an example. I think we've talked about that, like how we don't like history. And you take classes that you don't really like. So I would say that would maybe be an opinion for yourself. And then you also stated that Pullman is a small town. Yes, it's cold. It sucks.
It's very cold.
You know,
it's extremely
and
cold.
I think that those opinions were more of your opinions versus their opinions. And I truly believe before you make an opinion like you did, I think you need to have the facts. And we don't know why they left. We don't know if there was personal issues. We don't know if there was something back at home or what the reasons were. And so to me, to make an educated and strong opinion, which your show is about, you need to have the facts and understand like maybe why they made that choice. But I agree with you. I think walking away from free education is something that I would never do. But then I also could never say never, because I don't know the place that they are in life and like why the reason why they are leaving, if that makes sense.
And that's why I think I misstepped. You know, we don't know what's going on. Maybe one of their mom is sick. Maybe they need to be home for some reason. We don't know their home life, their home situation. And I think I was pretty judgmental about that. What I do stand by, though, is if you have an opportunity to go to school for free, you should go to school for free. You talked about history, and I think part of maybe we don't know why they are leaving Washington State. But I think if they don't like Washington State, tough. Suck it up, Buttercup. You have an opportunity to get a free education, which a lot of people would kill to have. I hate history. I don't want to do it. But that's part of my example. My comparison is to get the piece of paper, to get the stupid college degree that I need, I have to take history classes. There are thorns in the garden. There are things you have to do in life that you don't want to do.
But
whatever reason, I cannot support someone who gives up an opportunity to have a free education.
I think that for you to say like they might be leaving because they don't like Washington State University. I don't think I don't think we could say that, because they knew coming here it was going to be a small town. They visited. It's not like they came here and were like, okay, like I'm going here because I want to come here. Like they are coming here. They've known what it was like. I truly believe I don't think they're leaving because they don't like Washington State University. That's my opinion, and I think there has to be something else behind it. And that's obviously not for us to know, and they know in their hearts why they left and why they're doing what they need to do. And but I agree with you. I wouldn't, me personally, because I know how much my parents work hard to pay for my education, and it's a lot of money. And so to me to just walk away, my parents would be very upset with me. But at the same time, if there was certain reasons why, maybe they'd understand, and it just depends on the circumstances.
There are two more flaws with, I think, what I've said and what I've done with this, the dialogue about this, these two wide receivers. First, I said that they're from South Florida, and if they grew up in Florida, why in the world did they come to Washington State? Clearly, there weren't a lot of opportunities for them other places. We did our research, though. What did you find?
Well, I found that they both were...
and I was wrong on this.
They gave... University of Florida gave both of the athletes a chance to go there.
They could have gone to schools in Florida and played football, and they chose to come to Washington State fully knowing what they were getting into.
So, I mean, we don't know why. I mean, we don't know what's inside their head and what their thoughts are and everything, but we do know the facts is they're leaving. And, we can have an opinion on, you and I believe, we wouldn't leave if the free education was on the line, but I think we can say these things until we're in the position of maybe what they're experiencing. I don't know. I'm very like a feeling person. I'm not saying you are at all. No. But I like feel for people, and so I can put myself in people's shoes really well, I think. And so
Well, interesting, they're college kids. I played college football once.
Yeah.
I played small school college football there at Division I. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to be critical of a student athlete because their schedules are insane. It really is. And I go back to history, like you have to put up with things you don't want to do, but we can't take for granted their schedules as student athletes is incredibly tough, and we don't know what they're going through. We don't know what.
And it's morning to night. It's not just for an hour. Like they wake up and have to do lifts and do all these other things, and then they have to have study hall till 9 o'clock at night, and then they repeat it over again. Yeah,
one of my friends made that argument though, and I said that yes, being a student athlete is tough, but again, I think that's just part of your sacrifice. If you want that free education, you have to put up with whatever you're getting into. The one, because they're student athletes though, this is where I really, what I feel the worst about. Because I stand by, if you have free education, don't give it up. But where I think I really misstepped was they are student athletes. They're not in the public sphere. We can talk about Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield, Richard Sherman, Russell Wilson. Those are famous people that are in the public sphere. Tavares Martin Jr., Isaiah Johnson-Mack, no offense to them. And if you want to come on the show, you can. I would love that, actually. It'd be great. But they're not, they're just other students living their lives. And I think I probably should have avoided talking about them because they're not in the public sphere. There's no reason to talk about them. They're not, other than they left. But they're not hardly newsworthy. That's not what I mean. But they're not Russell Wilson, Richard Sherman. They're just college kids. Yeah. And to judge another college kid's decisions is pretty, I don't know about hypocritical, but it's not quite right. Because they're, again, not in the public sphere.
But I would say I agree and disagree. They're in the public sphere of our school. And so, like, coming here to Washington State University, things that are, like, recent is our news. You know, it's different than, like, Russell Wilson or Richard Sherman or Johnny Manziel. That's the worldwide or the countrywide's news. And that's our news right now. And so you're taking a stance on what you believe and what your thoughts are on that. And that's totally
I put it on the show. When I picked that story for the show, I thought it was an interesting comparison because I was just talking about the Ball family and how I support them leaving a free education because they're already rich and famous and don't need that degree. Whereas us, you and I, who are not rich and famous, and probably, I'm assuming, making assumptions, Isaiah Johnson-Mack and Tavares Martin Jr. could benefit from the degree in more ways than LiAngelo Ball could, who again is rich and famous. And I thought that was an interesting comparison, and I thought I told an interesting story, but I do think I definitely misstepped in a couple places when I brought that up.
And I told you that. I mean, it's not like I hammered you down and this was so bad. Like I just said, Zach, I agree with your point, but I think that you need to take a look at the other logistics of the story.
Because they're people.
Yeah.
It's a human story. It's not just sports. And they're not just Tavares Martin Jr., the robot athlete. He's also a person.
Yeah.
Who knows what he's going through.
Exactly.
Yes.